What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome in. We are going to do a home run derby little betting preview. I'm going to break down each and every game matchup that we got going on tonight. Go into some of my best bets, my picks. What's up? Who's in the chat? We're going to wait for a lot more people to get in here, and then we will start the breakdown. So, who we got live? Curious who's in the chat. We got 8 people now. Guys, when you come in here, make sure you put those thumbs up. Smash that like button if you can. We're going to get this one going here. Let me know who's dropping in. Appreciate it. Like I said, we're going to try to keep this, try to get done before 6:45 with this. We're going to go into pretty much all the angles for tonight. Some of the things I'm looking at. This is probably one of my best and favorite things to bet in the whole betting calendar. I'm going to be looking at some FanDuel stuff, some DraftKings stuff. Low Radar, you got your cold brew ready? I'm with you, brother. Cheers. Yeah, let's find it, Danny. Let's find a winner tonight. Welcome into the chat, guys. Kind of wanted to it's too nice to be recording videos, so I want to come in the backyard, get it going. For those of you that were betting with us on, I think the last time we did it was on Sunday, because I didn't do a full video recap. Did go 3-2, so profitable weekend. Nothing to brag about, nothing special, but any time in the green is always a good time. Smashed the under as well as the draw within the Colombia Argentina game. I stayed away from the England game versus Spain. My head was telling me Spain, but my gut was saying that England had a shot, so I kind of stayed away from that one. But Megan, welcome in. Yeah, welcome. I haven't done one of these in a while, so let's try to find us some winners here. I didn't get anything done in terms of like a full video, but I said, you know what, screw it. Let's just go live, wait for people to get off work. Odds in this change a little bit, but there's a lot of variance within the home run derby. We have a new format today. It's going to be the first kind of format that they do this year, so I do want to talk to you guys about that a little bit as well. Let me change a setting here, try to get more people into the chat, and then we will go live. Oh, I think it already did it. All right. Perfect. Okay, so can you guys hear me okay? Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. I'm in my backyard. I don't want to be broadcasting too loud. Some people are out there eating dinner on the patio and stuff. All right. So I want to talk a little bit about the format. I can't really present my screen, but let's get into some of first, let's talk about the contestants, right? In this matchup, right? Home run derby, like I said. For me, it's kind of like a cash every year kind of event, unless there's some anomalies, right? Pete Alonso's going for his 3rd belt. This is going to be something where a lot of people, are going to lay chalk, but, this is a great value where if you do want to lay some chalk, you can find some really good odds. I mean, getting Pete Alonso over 300, plus 300 is really great opportunity if you want to lay the chalk. For me, there's something that I do want to share with you guys. There's like a few metrics that you look at for home run derby, right? Launch angle, it's a big one, exit velocity, and kind of for me, some people probably won't agree, but there is a different type of swing for a home run derby. So it is something where you see some of these players, they've been practicing. Some of these guys I've heard have been taking home run derby rounds. So if you've never played baseball, when you do like BP in the shell, it's hours before the game, but there's always like a strategy, I guess you would say an objective to the round would be a better word. So, sometimes it's 2-strike approach, take five away, 5 gap to gap, and and then you go 5 ahead in the count swings, lay some bunts down, whatever, just to get you ready, you're locked in for the game. Within a home run derby round, though, it's pretty much drop and drive. They're going to throw you up, they're going to throw you in, put it right in your wheelhouse, and it's pitches that you don't really see in live at bats, but for me, it's always a fun round. But The home run derbies that I did partake in, it's kind of like a golf scramble, in my opinion. I hate golf scrambles because if you do play your own stroke, your own score, when you do a golf scramble, a lot of times I can't get my swing back and shoot a good round for about a week or so. So it is kind of tough in that regard. But let's get into this. Enough of me BS, and we got enough people in the chat. Yeah, bat speed is a definite one as well. So yeah. And I think the biggest one here now with the new format, which I do want to tell you guys what that is. Let's start off with that. All right, so it used to be kind of just matchups and then winner advances within the first 8 seeds, right? It would have been seeded by who had the most home runs thus far to this point in the regular season. And today it's going to be a little different. So not a drastic rule change like we saw a couple years ago where we went to. You used to be able to take pitches. There was no real timer. Now with that timer, it's really changed the narrative a little bit. But I think the biggest thing that goes underspoken about home run derbies now in this format is stamina, okay? You get a big ox up there that just, they hit the ball the farthest. They can, give you great pop, probably have the longest home runs in this contest. But how many rounds can they go where they're going to be swinging 40 times, so to speak? So that's something of interest to me. I think stamina is a big thing. We saw that with some of the other people that just have placeholders, right? Mookie Betts, the one year, he realized it just wasn't his night, just kind of participated, and then he just kind of gave up. So that's something we look at within matchups. We're going to get into that a little bit, first round matchups, but we only have 15 people now. We are fading a little bit. If you guys want to help it out, please put those thumbs up. That's the best way to let YouTube know that we are live, okay? And I'm gonna try to do something real quick. I'm pulling up this on my end, and then we can get going. All right, perfect. All right, here we go. So I explained a little bit about how this is a new round, okay? Or a new year with a new format. So it's a 40 pitches or 3 minutes. That's what happens first. Whatever happens first, that is when you hit your completion of your round. And like I said, the seeding is a little different. They're just basically matchups. So that's kind of where we're at within that. Our participants, we know Alonso's in it. Gunnar Henderson's an interesting one. Adolis Garcia, Bobby Witt Jr., Jose from Cleveland, Alec Bohm, Teoscar Hernandez, which we're going to talk about a little of my sleepers, but he's firmly on that list. And then Marcell Ozuna, okay? So I actually have to tell you guys, this is probably one of the years where I think it's the most competitive, with still a nice mix of a little bit of a long shot edge, I think, that we get in this, okay? We look back previously in recent years, okay? Alonso won it in 21, he won it in 19, okay? And I think he has another one, so I'm pretty sure he has 3, or he's looking to get 3, okay? I did hear he's trying to tie Ken Griffey's record. Yeah, so Ken Griffey has 3, and Giannis right now is going for his 3rd, okay? So that's the big one. A couple people have come close, but nonetheless, here we are. So let's get into some more talk about this, all right? So this is something where there's also going to be a bonus period, all right? You get a 30 seconds after your turn, and if you do hit a 440 bomb, you get another 60 seconds if you get 2 of those 440 dingers, okay? But in this format, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about this. I have to just go right to the chase. Jose Ramirez is, he's kind of a hometown hero for me, but even that aside, he has notably, if we look at straight metrics, and stamina is kind of what I'm worried about, this is something where we have the cards in our favor at these odds, okay? I believe you can find him 14-1. I do like him in his first round matchup a little bit. That's something where you look at that. I do have a best bet out there. I think it's kind of like a hammer play personally, but I'm going to try to have a little fun with this one. I do a lot of round matchup parlays, and I also will try to pick the exacta and possibly the winner outright. But we'll get to that. So Jose at 14-1, his launch angle is ideal for this competition. So that's where a lot of sharps are putting some money on that, 14-1, 13-1. So that is something I'm looking into. A little sprinkle on Jose, at least to make the finals. Maybe not win it. I'm worried about stamina, but that's kind of where I'm at. All right. But then we have to talk about some more pressing things. Okay, so the best bet I have for you guys in this card, or not card, I should say, in this contest, is going to be Bobby Witt. We're going to fade Bobby Witt. I think he's the lowest in terms of total home runs on the season thus far. Staying away from him. He's having a great season, but it's kind of just that fit not right for the tournament or this competition. So we're fading Bobby Witt. We're going to take Pete Alonso. I think it's his first round matchup. More home runs than Bobby Witt. I think that price is minus 125. So that for me is clearly my number one bet of this contest today. It's almost, I hate to say the word, but it's almost a lock for me. I think that's the best odds that we found. I do want to shuffle this around a little bit and see. I can't share my screen, but I'm going to run over a couple. Okay. Yeah, and then you can pick some Exactas, which is a fun way to put some sprinkles on that. Yeah, so I think the bet I found was more home runs in first round. Let me bring this up. I don't want to misspeak. Sorry about that. Yeah, so you're going to have to trust me on this one. I believe DraftKings will have the best markets for this. I'm going to pull it up here. If you guys use DraftKings, but this is definitely my best bet of the night. I'm not sure. I'm trying to pull up the live number just to see where we're at. Okay. Okay, straight forecast. That is not what we want. Round one. Yeah, round one. Yeah, round one head-to-head. Yeah, this is where we're at. So most home runs, Bobby Witt versus, did they take it down? No, Pete Alonso versus Bobby Witt. Okay, so that's round one on DK, minus 125 for Pete Alonso. I don't really get that one. Maybe they know something I don't, but that is kind of my lock play of the day. I'm going to be putting probably a ton of money on that one. Win or lose, it's going to be, if they let me parlay it, I'll probably parlay it with some matchups. But if you guys can, make sure you subscribe down below, smash that like button, and as always, guys, get those comments fired up because we are just an hour and a half away from the All-Star break. I forfeited my evening little bicycle ride with my daughter because this is my favorite event of the year, honestly, in terms of just kind of things to bet on, I guess. It doesn't really have any significance, but the Home Run Derby, as a former player, it's something that I love to watch. So I'm going to have to take a rain check and double down on the bike rides tomorrow. But yeah, let's get into some more talk. So that is my best head-to-head, minus 125. I just don't understand that. Maybe they're making the handicap if he's not facing them. But I think Witt's going to have a dud. I really do. That's just kind of how I view it. We saw hilariously, I think it was Julio that year. He had, I think, 41 home runs in the first round. So maybe that'll be something. Witt is more of an athletic swinger, so I'm not worried about stamina so much with him. But I got to take that bet. I know it's probably a sucker bet, but that is my kind of my lock of the evening if you want to go there. The only thing we got to worry about is if he does have kind of a Julio Rodriguez kind of performance where he just starts, rep, and takes advantage of kind of a little bit of a more tempo than Alonso likes to swing with. But if Alonso gets in that groove, and the other thing is, if they're not going against each other, you don't know where he's at within a leaderboard, or if, say, Witt goes first and he just kind of sells out. You got to worry about that a little bit. But the biggest thing is Alonso's balls are going to take, well, that's going to sound horrible, but Alonso's balls are going to take a longer time to drop. So, now, no pun intended, but forgive me for that one. Any lefties, in this park stats, looking at Gunnar. Yeah, so I'm going to be fading Gunnar Henderson, and we're going to get to that. Thanks for bringing that up. I heard a little bit of tidbit, a nice tidbit when I was listening to a couple podcasts earlier, so I'm going to relay some of that. And that's the other thing. I like to see a little bit of movement in this draft, or not in a draft, in this contest, because a lot of times the public just lays the wood in this kind of thing. They want to get drunk with their buddies. They want to bet the home run derby. Let them bet them, right? Unless you got a clear-cut angle on a number you think is going to move up. I'm more so a wait till the last minute when I come to betting the derby, okay? All-Star Game, same thing. But I do want to talk to you guys about kind of the Gunnar Henderson thing. And then I'm going to get into some big odds that we have, okay? So this is going to be happening in Arlington, right? Texas, let's look up some stats with Texas. Texas Rangers, home field. Let's just do it this way. Instead of going crazy, let's just look at this in terms of, let me find this in terms of just Rangers home games. I think that might be a little bit simplified. Okay, so here we go. All right. Throw me a curveball. I am curious about this, but okay, so this is out of StatMuse. Okay, so 14 home runs the Rangers have given up to lefties at home. I'll pull up some of the dimensions. It's interesting. I think this is one of those ballparks that has a retractable roof kind of deal. I'm not sure on that. Don't quote me. Never been there. Little side note for all you guys that are live, but the Texas Rangers were was the first letter from an organization I got when I was playing. So I do have a soft spot for the Rangers. Versus righties at home. Yeah, so we'll just do the flip, okay? Yeah, so conversely, yeah, there's going to be more righties. Yeah, Craig, we talked a little bit about that earlier. I don't know if you were with us. He's the value play. I know it's kind of a trendy dog, but he is the value play for me. Let me look up some dimensions, though. I wish I could show you guys these graphics. Okay, so here's what we got. It's actually Globe Life Field now. I keep calling it Ballpark at Arlington. Kind of a tribute to my age, but yeah. So center field's 407. A lot of times in this kind of competition, what people are trying to do is you either go a couple different ways. You either go pool happy from start to finish, or you kind of try to do like a Juan Carlos Stanton, and you want to stay through the ball and just, get them out of the park, but you don't want to get too pool happy. But yeah, I'm looking at this, and I don't really see anything glaring. The power alleys are the same, a little bit deeper in right field, but the foul pole in right field's a little bit shorter. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm not worried about it. I think something that does play a role, though, guys, these are professionals, but if I'm more in favor of talking about... Wow, sorry about that. I'm more in favor of talking about the pitchers that they have thrown to them. Familiarity is a big thing. That's kind of number one, more than the ballpark. I do think, though, these guys, they're in this competition for a reason. It is interesting. I'm kind of curious. I want to know if Jose's batting right-handed or left-handed. If any of you guys know that, please look it up or help me out on that one. But that is something worth looking into, because his numbers do shift, I think, dramatically on the left-hand side of the plate versus right. I think he has more power to the right side of the ballpark, but he hits more home runs from the left side. So that's also probably because he faces more righties, but my gut is he's going to bat left-handed. But yeah, the biggest thing too is you got to worry about batter's eyes. So if you want to look for an edge, possibly taking American League teams. They played more ball games in Arlington. Familiarity with the backdrop, that's a big one. Being comfortable in the batter's box, I think that's another thing too. I know you guys might think that's crazy, but it is true. Sometimes the batter's boxes are a little bit kind of firm. You can't really dig in there, so it depends on how you kind of like it. Some people like those, they like to get real planted. Some people like to stay a little more balanced. Yeah, Brandon. Actually, he did have a very poor showing in the last home run derby he was in. So I don't really rule that one out. But we talked a lot about his launch angle this year, and those numbers are definitely separating him from the pack. I worry about his conditioning a little bit. I mean, he's a dog, but he's not in the best shape. Let's just say that. So. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe down below. We're going to be talking about a few more bets here, and then we'll get you on your way. Some things, you can see Alonso about plus 340, probably on average. I'm just looking at FanDuel. I'm sure you can find a better number out there. I am going to stay away from Gunnar Henderson. I do not like that. We're just going to go down the list, and I'm going to talk to you guys about my plays. So, process of elimination. Let's just do it that way. All right. So Jose's there at 15-1. Bobby Witt's plus 470. I don't understand that to save my life. But what we're going to do is we're going to cross Alec Baum off this list in terms of chance to win it. I just don't see it. Sleeper, I think if we're going to go sleeper, 11-1 on Teoscar Hernandez for the Dodgers. That is definitely a sleeper bet for me. And if I had to pick a guy that's not Alonso, for me, it's going to be Marcell Ozuna. That's kind of where I'm at. So I kind of worry about the clock expiring if they hit some towering home runs, right? So Jaws Donnie, if that's how you pronounce it, sorry. I'll just call you Bardo. Hope you're cool with that. But yeah, like I just got done saying, Ozuna is kind of my sleeper. So if we can bet these first round matchups, which I think we can, all right. Then we'll end with some derby props as we get going. But on DraftKings, you can find round one head-to-heads, okay? This is something where I don't know if they have the actual matchups. I'd like to see these guys kind of hitting against each other, but I think what they're going to do is they're just all going to hit down a line. There's no real pairings in the first round. And then that's going to change once we hit the semifinals. When there's 4 left, it'll be bang, bang, bang. So, like I said, if you want to get into some matchups, I think I personally am fading Bobby Witt. So that's just kind of where I'm at. You're welcome to do with what you want. So I am taking that Pete Alonso fade Bobby Witt. Alonso's kind of had a off kind of kilter year in terms of power numbers compared to his normal. So in those metrics, maybe, but I'm still not down with it. So I think that you can get down with some of these matchups, and the 4 guys that I'm going to target in these matchups, Jose Ramirez, Alonso, Ozuna, and Teoscar Hernandez. So use that information, and I would probably look for possibly doing a round one head-to-head kind of parlay. And I'm actually going to put one together here because I haven't done this yet. I am fading Gunnar Henderson. I believe he had a strong showing in his first. Or no, that wasn't. That was Adley Rutschman that kind of stunk. Yeah, I'm definitely fading Gunnar Henderson. So I don't agree with those odds personally. So those are kind of my fades. Henderson and Witt, we are just basically crossing off. I'm making it a 6-man field. Kind of shade Jose Ramirez and the likes of hold on a second. Yeah, so I'm gonna shade Jose Ramirez and Teoscar down, but like I said, that's kind of how I'm handicapping this. So in Jamal, that's a great point. We look into this, and you got to shop around for these because some of these matchups are quite juicy. All right, But hey, as you guys get in here, do me a solid. Make sure you guys all subscribe. We do basically all sports. Can't wait for football season, but baseball is kind of how my channel caught fire because I started it during the Super Bowl. So I hate to say it, but a lot of you guys didn't get this. We didn't get to experience football together. So I'm super excited for that to happen. And yeah, that's our goal, man. I'm just like you guys. I don't do it for the money. I do it. I'm making these bets with or without you guys, but I love having this platform and can't do it without each and every one of you. So that's where we're at. Gotta kind of fire up a little zinny. I played baseball for a really long time, so it's a bad habit to kick, but trying to do a little bit smarter these days. But yeah, so where we're at within this, let's look at some of these exactas. You got to really look at these because I told you that first round matchup's kind of screwed up. So you got to, yeah, and Jamal, great point, man. Take advantage of these boosts. I'm getting 30% on a couple $100. That's kind of fantastic. So it actually makes kind of betting outrights a little bit better. I can now get Alonso almost 5-1. I think a little bit more than 5-1 actually. So that's going to allow you to hedge your way through this tournament. Okay. That used to be the old approach I used to take. I used to kind of just narrow it down to like 4 or 5 guys I thought that could win and then take 2 to 3. And usually the way it's so lopsided that even if the favorite wins, you're still going to profit, still have a net win. But yeah, Stanley, we've been talking, man, for a long time about it. I'm going to try to touch. I don't like these lives because when people just trickle in, unfortunately, I feel like I keep talking in circles. But I'm trying to help you guys out. So I will try to touch back on what I was talking about earlier, okay? But just give you guys a quick recap for those of you that are new to the chat. The 4 names that I have basically at the top of my handicapping list, and I'll do it in order. It would be Pete Alonso, then we're going to go with Ozuna, and then we're going to go with Jose Ramirez, and then Teoscar Hernandez, okay? Those are my 4. Whether or not that proves to be what happens, we'll see. I am worried a little bit about the athletic guys, such as Bobby Witt, and Gunnar Henderson, maybe having a little stronger showing with this, the way that this format is, okay? But I do want to talk to you guys about these exactas, okay? And we talked a little bit about boosts, and this is a great way to approach this, okay? Say you like Alonso to win, right? So I'm looking at this on FanDuel, and you have to shop around, but if you take Alonso basically over Marcell Ozuna, that's 20-1. Alonso over Teoscar Hernandez, that's 29-1. Over Jose, 38-1. Okay, so it's an interesting way to predict Pete Alonso is going to win the Derby, but you're getting way better odds than plus 340, and it also opens a door for you to kind of take 4 or 5 of those, right? Like I say, cross them off, and if you're that confident with Alonso, then that's a great way to handicap this, because if you're getting say you like Jose to win, but you just can't discount Pete Alonso, take Jose straight up, take the Alonso over Jose at 38-1. That's a really good betting opportunity, right? There's a huge middle with that. So, not saying I'm going to do that, but that is definitely an opportunity. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting a lot of first round head-to-heads together. Unfortunately, they're not going to let me parlay these this year, so that's going to be a buzzkill. So I think what we're going to end up doing is potentially just banging the my best bet of the contest. That's taking Pete Alonso over Bobby Witt Jr. Those of you new to the chat, Gunnar Henderson and Bobby Witt are my 2 fades of this event. So now we're down to a 6-man field. Jose and Teoscar are my long shots. And if you are just going to look for 3 names to bet outright, it's definitely going to be Ozuna and Alonso, as well as the likes of, I just lost my paper. Yeah, Adolis Garcia. So worry about some of the bulky guys. Like that's just kind of what it is, right? We saw Julio have a really good performance, like I keep talking about, 41 home runs. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he has a more athletic build. You know, he's not that DH kind of body. And I think that's something that you're going to see evident tonight with this new format, 40 pitches, or I believe it's 3 minutes, whatever comes first. So it's interesting, right? You know, in the old format, you used to see hitters, they probably would take 3-4 pitches before, you know, the 10-out format, 3-4 pitches before they pulled the trigger. So something to keep in mind, but those are basically where I'm at. Some of the props I do want to get into, though, and then we'll talk a little bit about my handicap with the All-Star Game. Within these Derby props, and if you can, before we do it, guys, make sure you all subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and I want to know who you guys are betting. I should put a poll up, but I think it's a little too late in the day. I should have put one up this morning within the contestants and see who the I guess you guys, all the subscribers out there on YouTube, who you guys would be taking and backing for this contest. And it is kind of cool. I'm seeing a lot of new names in the chat. Usually I do these lives, and you know, for a while on my channel, I just started my channel back in the Super Bowl. I did it for my buddies. My buddy has about 150,000 subscribers on YouTube, and basically was like, you bet every day. You know, a lot of people come to me, a lot of my friends come to me for picks, and I basically just said, you know, screw it, let's just start a YouTube channel and see where it takes us. And you know, Super Bowl was great, and then I think in the month of April for major leagues, we just absolutely crushed it. I think it was like 41-9 or something like that, stupid. Went on an absolute heater, pretty much paid for the rest of the season, and kind of been battling, you know, 500 give or take on any given day. I haven't really had any sweeps, but there was a day where I think I had like 5 or 6 sweeps in a row back in April. It was something stupid. College basketball also was great. Somebody on YouTube actually, another handicapper, basically did a March Madness kind of bracket with people on YouTube. I didn't even know about this, and made it like a bracket, right? So every round, you know, field of 64, field of 32, 16, 8-4, you know, so on and so forth. Made a bracket within people on YouTube handicapping the March Madness tournament, and I ended up coming, I think, second out of like, I mean, this guy spent a lot of time on this. It was like hundreds of people. So that was kind of cool. He privately messaged me on Twitter and told me, or X, whatever you want to call it, told me that he did it, showed me the video. He made a video. I don't know if anybody watched it, but shout out to him. That was a lot of work. I don't know how much he gained from that, but in terms of viewerships or subscribers, but I appreciate, you know, having some fun. I'm trying to contact some people and do some, I want to do a little bit of competition, a little friendly gentleman kind of competition once after the All-Star break within baseball. Maybe do like 1 week, we pick 5 bets each week or 3 bets every day. Kind of do a little contest. I think that'd be fun. So make sure you drop my name in other people's streams so that everybody, let them know we're coming. But yeah, so I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about props. FanDuel doesn't really have too much of a market on that, but DraftKings is definitely going to be the go-to in this regard. Okay. Let me try to find these for you guys. The big thing I liked was, I mean, you could bet on exit velocity, long over under exit velocity. That's absolutely insane. I'm not going to be doing that. I mean, that takes the pitcher into account too much. I'm not too sure about this. That is why I'm fading Gunnar Henderson, though. I might be stupid, but I believe I heard that his brother-in-law is going to be throwing to him. So full disclosure, his brother-in-law is a former Major League Baseball player, so not going to say he can't throw BP, but I'm just going to say, you know, from my experience, hitting against pitchers during BP, there's a little weird spin on it. So I'm sure they're doing some practice, but I'm going to be staying away from Gunnar Henderson for that regard. When pitchers would throw BP, sometimes they'd have to do it if a coach couldn't do it. And I'll tell you, it is different. There's something to be said about some guys can really throw you a great BP ball, and some guys can't. So despite these guys having great home run numbers, characteristics, stats, whatever, qualities, throw that all out the window if you have a bad pitcher. We've seen that numerous times, right? Numerous times. 31, I think we have 31 people now. We've had a lot of people in and out of this stream, but only 13 likes. If you guys can double tap that screen and subscribe, that'd be awesome. But I do want to talk about these props because they are definitely entertaining. I'm not saying I'm going to bet it, but we are looking at distance. You can take each player over under the longest home run. You know, it's kind of crazy. We're seeing these numbers. I mean, Bobby Witt's 475.5. I think that's way too high personally. Outstanding hitter. I don't know. I'm just fading him. So you guys might need to message me tomorrow and tell me I'm wrong if you guys are on the Witt train. Yeah, I think the Jose Ramirez under 449.5. I think that's really high. It's juiced down to the under. It is in Texas. We'll see if the ball's flying. I don't know if they're gonna have the dome open with the heat. I think that Alonso over his 466.5. I think that's kind of low personally. Interesting bet. Will the Derby distance record be broken? 521 feet. Yes is 12-1. I'd love to know where that 521 was hit at. I'd love to know that, but I would probably say no to that. Minus 5,000. Not going to lay that. There's probably will be some rich guy out there lay, you know, $50,000 to make 1,000, but. All right. Yeah, let's hit some more. Possibly look at the Gunnar Henderson over 461.5. Distance of longest home run, 484.5. I'd probably go under in that. Just being honest. Probably go under in that. I think that's a little too high. Yeah, so pretty easy. I think this gets a little too much hype and build up, and you know, just because you're in a home run derby doesn't mean you're a home run hitter. We saw this with Mookie Betts. I think he was like leading the major leagues in home runs, or damn close to the top of the list, and he had a really poor showing, and he just kind of quit mid-round, which I don't blame him. Go out with some dignity. Everybody knows you can hit. Yeah, so I do like those. I mean, those are the ones that jump out at me. Totals, okay? Most home runs by any player. I think over 26.5 is a very good bet. I wish it would let me parlay this. I'm going to actually see if I can do this. I do like throwing a couple bones at a parlay here. Yeah, I don't think it's going to let me do it. But I do love, that's my best bet of the day. Yeah, it won't let me do it. They're too correlating. That is my best bet of the day, though, is taking the round one head-to-head. Take Pete Alonso over Bobby Witt, minus 125 on DraftKings. So I really wish it would let me kind of parlay these. I think FanDuel let me 1 year, but they don't have too many props offered. Actually, shit, yeah, it does. So you can parlay to make semifinals. So basically to qualify. So you can take Pete Alonso minus 245. You can take, I think, taking Ozuna, and I think, wow, that's a little juicy. A little juicy for me. It doesn't really pay much, but it is something boost worthy. So, but yeah, if you're looking for value, I definitely think the Exactas are where to go. If you like Pete Alonso, maybe take him over Zuna. Maybe take him over Jose Ramirez. I think that pays 38 to 1. So, very profitable if you want to go down that route. So, yeah, I do, Marcos. I do like Azuna. He's kind of my, like I said, my 4 guys I like for this: Alonso and Azuna, and then I'm going to have Jose Ramirez, a sleeper, and I do like Teoscar Hernandez a little bit as well. So those are my 4 names. Just to kind of round this one out. So if you guys want to, I'm just sitting here by the lake trying to enjoy a little Miller. Waiting for a couple buddies to show up. We're going to have some fun watching this one. But yeah, make sure you guys all subscribe to the channel. Feel free to drop me any comments. Follow me on Twitter as well, at @TheBetterMark, if you don't mind doing that. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, I'm going to turn this one over to you guys. So while we got the stream open, feel free to drop some questions, light up that chat. I'm kind of done talking for the evening. We're going to start enjoying life. Oh, interesting. You can take, wow, that's a nice one. Terry, yeah, I said it, man. Pete Alonso is my favorite. Marcell Ozuna, number 2. And then I'd probably put Teoscar Hernandez and Ramirez as my value picks. Player to hit longest home run in first round. Kind of nice. Maybe Adolis Garcia plus 700. You read my mind. Oh yeah, Adolis Garcia plus 700. I kind of like that. I don't know why they're so juiced up with Bobby Witt. A lot of the odds favoring him. He's on my fade list. But he is the odds-on favorite to hit the longest home run in the first round. Here's another juicy one. Really juicy, actually. Wow. Bobby Witt and Marcell Ozuna to combine for 50 home runs, plus 160. Kind of interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, LC. It's kind of funny. They're not offering a lot of Pete Alonso things, but that's my favorite bet on DraftKings. Pete Alonso, more home runs than Bobby Witt, round 1. So, yeah. Thanks for keeping the chat live, guys. If you got anything else you want to drop down there, feel free. Yeah, I might sprinkle a little Pete Alonso over Marcell Ozuna at 20 to 1. That might be my exacta. You mean J Hard? Do you mean the like? What I think it was like 280 or something like that. Do you mean that one? You mean the combined total for like everybody, or just like two people together? Yeah, 272. Shop around for that because I've seen a different number than that. Um, I've seen a couple numbers. 272 though. What do we got? Let's do some quick math. So let's say yeah, I'd probably go over. I'd probably go over that. I will tell you this. That will either be literally super close. It's either going to end up like literally 271 or 273 or 272, or it's going to be like 300. There's either going to be a lot of variance or it's going to be damn pretty close to 272. Yeah, so I'm going to conclude this here shortly, but I do want to touch base a little bit about tomorrow. This is one where we've seen these All-Star games under hit at an extensive rate. 7.5 is the under. Also, the American League has been, as we all know, quite dominant. I think 2018 was the last year the National League won. I got to be honest with you guys, though. I am favoring the National League this year. So if you do bet the American League, just base it based off a trend. I've cashed a lot betting the American League and all the All-Star games. It's a great game. It's the only one that really matters. And you know, seeing a lot of these pitchers give them their best stuff for one inning, basically closers, and going against the best hitters in baseball, it's a very exciting event. A lot of times you do get a lot of offensive output. Would not shock me if we had a, like a 5-4 game, or if it was 2-1. I've seen them both ways. Personally, I do kind of like the little bit of a mix. I want to see some good pitching, but I do also want to see some runs. So I'm rooting for the over. I'll probably bet the under, and I will probably take the American League, even though my gut's telling me the National League's going to steal this one this year. But appreciate you guys. I know some of you are late to the chat. I was hoping to get some familiar faces or names, I should say, from over in the Discord. But we have been going live for quite a while. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you can, make sure you follow me on X at The Better Mark, as well as here on YouTube. And if you can, make sure you guys all subscribe and tune in daily. Luca, over 30 home run bets. What platform are you using on for that? Which betting site? I don't want to mislead you. FanDuel. Okay, let's look at it. What is that under, if you don't mind, help me out here so I can speed things up. Isaiah, I don't really use Prize Picks, full disclosure. I'm more of a traditional bettor. They contacted me to get on board with them, but I have never used them, full disclosure. So it's probably going to be coming up. I will start that. Oh, here's an interesting bet. League of the Winner. Check that one out. American League minus 128, National League plus 104. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. I probably would go National League. And just root for Azuna to face Alonso in the finals. So I'm looking for that first round props. Oh, here it is. Okay. Wow. I can't remember what that one I liked. It was 7-1. I can't remember which one that was, but in this market, I think Alonso plus 340 definitely jumps out. I mean, that's still great odds. If I was going to try to go for a long shot, I'd probably go Bobby Witt or Marcell Ozuna in the fours. But kind of where I'm at on that. So the only reason that I do see some Witt success is the athletic nature that he swings with. I think he's going to get more quality hacks in that 40 pitch, 3-minute allotment than most. I don't see Ramirez hitting 30, but I could see Ramirez hitting 25 plus every round. So look for him to be competitive. I just don't know how he's going to do kind of later on. I'm worried about his stamina a bit as well. But that's about all I got, guys. I got to wrap it up. I got to do some bedtime stories and then a couple buddies coming over to watch this game. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, make sure you all subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and hop on over to the Discord as well. And as always, if you guys want to give back to the channel, become a channel member. I don't charge for picks, so that's a great way to kind of connect with me. Also get me more in an exclusive basis if you want. That's always, a great way to get in touch, because I do kind of give priority to my channel members when they do message me. So, all right. But thanks. Good luck with your bets. As always, enjoy. It's a great competition. One of my favorite things in the betting calendar for the course of the year. And like I said, good luck. Subscribe. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. We'll try to do a little All-Star Game, a little primer, and get this one going. Can't wait for the second half of the season to start back up and back at it. So cheers. See you all tomorrow.